Well, we could be in for some record-breaking heat this week.
And it is steaming outside right now. We want to get more on what's ahead from WSAV Storm Team 3 Chief Meteorologist Scott Roberts.
Hey, good afternoon, Tina. Good afternoon, Andrew. Yeah, very hot conditions are in the forecast for the next several afternoons. Our forecast high temperature for tomorrow is at 100 degrees. If that happens, it will tie the record. The following day, Wednesday, forecast high temperature of 99, and that might break the record as far as what we are going to be dealing with for the next few days. But for this evening, we do have an extreme heat warning in place for our coastal counties, including Effingham County and Interior Bryan and Liberty County. So not just at the coast experiencing the hottest heat index values in excess of 115 possible. Further inland, there is a heat advisory in place until the evening, but temperatures right now upper 90s, 101 at the moment for Baxley, 98 for us here in Savannah. Hilton Head feeling a little bit better out there, 93 degrees the current temperature. When you factor in the humidity, though, it is feeling like 113 out on Hilton Head. So dangerously hot conditions are with us this afternoon, and this trend will continue for several more days. If you're lucky, a few thunderstorms will help to cool conditions off, but Viper radar not too active right now. A little bit of activity for coastal McIntosh County and into Wayne County near Odom, so very sporadic shower and thunderstorm activity, certainly not as widespread as what we were dealing with yesterday at this time. Now, as far as this evening, we keep the conditions partly cloudy and very warm into the evening hours. Temperature still in the mid 80s by 10 and 11, with overnight lows for some of us just bottoming out in the upper 70s to lower 80s, and more extreme heat is in the forecast for the next few days. So make sure you stay cool, stay hydrated, take plenty of breaks, and just limit your outdoor activities during those peak heating hours. There is some relief on the way as we head toward the 7-day for the weekend in the 7-day forecast. We'll talk about that coming up in a few moments.
God, thank you. Well, the city of Savannah once again providing residents with resources to help stay cool. You can see the full list of these locations and times simply by going to our website, wsav.com/cooling centers.
And happening right now, you may have seen a lot of smoke in the air this weekend. It's actually from a brush fire that keeps burning right now on Wausau Island. And despite the blaze being just far away from homes and businesses, it's still having a pretty major impact. Take a look at this video. It was taken on Tybee Island yesterday. Smoke was heavy in the air. According to the Savannah Coastal Refuges Complex, approximately 100 acres are burning at the Wausau National Wildlife Refuge around the Fire Trail and Pavilion Trail area. Hilton Head Island Mayor Alan Perry says that fire was caused by a lightning strike.
As students move in at Georgia Southern University, and many getting ready to start or even resume their college careers, their safety remains paramount. A local police chief wants students to know what they can do to stay safe this school year. WSAV's Evan Smoke explains.
Statesboro police say they see a higher number of calls when Georgia Southern is in session, but students are more likely to be victims of crime versus the calls. Interim Chief Aiken spoke to WSAV about the type of calls the department sees when students return to town. He says officers respond to a higher number of traffic accidents, roommate disputes, and other minor things. He adds that the number of thefts increase and gave advice on how students can protect their property.
Situational awareness is a big thing, making sure that you lock up all of your valuables, that when you leave for, say, a weekend or a holiday, that take with you from your apartments what you value the most, so that you know that that's safe and secure when you come back. Certainly vehicles, securing those.
Aiken says that the SPD has increased the number of officers compared to the past few years, and this will allow them to better handle the higher volume of calls. Reporting in Statesboro, Evan Smoke, WSAV News 3, on your side.
It's being described as another layer of safety for people on Hilton Head Island. We're talking about armed officers guarding local parks. It is the latest plan by town leaders to increase protection after that mass shooting on Cligney Beach July 4th. The security personnel have been hired to keep watch on all the local Hilton Head parks, but not the beaches themselves. The town doesn't want to reveal exactly how many guards they've hired or the exact times they'll be on duty. They do say, though, that that shift will be late evening until early morning every day of the week. Now, the cost, which the town also not talking about, comes out of the public safety budget, but officials say that cost is worth it for peace of mind.
The core service of responding to calls for service and being present when obviously there's a large crowd on the beach or whatever that might be. having security on our property. It's always been a possibility, but this is driven it home that let's try this and see how it goes.
Is there a concern to put these officers there because you figure some of these incidents could move off the beach into the parks?
Yeah, historically, that's a way to get on the beach for these large crowds of juveniles. So having somebody at one of these beach parks, at Kaligi Beach Park, or if we have an incident at Fish Hall Beach Park, for example, we'd like to have a mobile patrol that's able to address those issues and deter that activity. So that's a way onto the beach. So now we have a set of eyes and ears. Okay, we've got a large crowd heading down to the beach with fireworks, and we're able to address it and know about it before it happens.
Now, those guards will have the ability to detain people at those local parks. They are SLED certified. The sheriff's office would have to get involved to actually take them to jail. The program temporary right now, running through the early fall. Town officials will then talk about if it was effective and should it start again before the next tourist season in April.
Now to Brunswick, where a 20-year-old is in jail facing murder charges after allegedly shooting and killing a man. It happened Sunday just after midnight. Officers say they heard gunshots near Bay Street and found Jason Middlebrooks leaving that area. And not far from there, officials say they found a man who was shot and later died. Middlebrooks is facing murder, aggravated assault, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and other charges. Wayne County Commissioner is holding a meeting today. This is about a proposal to build a data center. Commissioners recently passed an ordinance regulating data centers. Among other things, it would require they be at least 1,000 feet from schools, places of worship, hospitals, and public parks. It also sets limits on noise and how much water the facility can use. Commissioners pointed out today that even if a data center is built somewhere else, it could still draw on the same water source.
In that area, I think it goes almost up to Macon. Anywhere in that area, when they put a well in and pool the water for a cooling system or whatever they do, it draws off the same aquifer that we are, but we get no benefits from it.
The Wayne County Industrial Development Authority recently approved a sale of an industrial park in West Jessup. Officials have not yet confirmed what that location will be.
And a rezoning request that could pave the way for a data center in Statesboro is going to go before its city council tomorrow night. Developers asking for approximately 27-acre parcel off Burkhalter Road to be rezoned from high-density residential to office and business. The request actually got a recommendation of approval from the city's Planning and Zoning Commission earlier this month. Rezoning the first step in the process. If it's approved tomorrow, developers will still need to go before both the Planning and Zoning Commission and City Council again. Tomorrow's public hearing is scheduled for 5:30 at Statesboro City Hall.
Well, Georgia's data center boom is raising questions about power and who pays for it. More than 80 data centers are in the works all across the state. State lawmakers proposing to make data centers pay more of the cost and limiting tax breaks. But despite about 20 bills filed this session, none have passed. Instead, Georgia Power is moving ahead with more generation and transmission capacity. Now, the Public Service Commission recently approving nearly 10,000 megawatts of new power, with about 80% expected to serve large customers, including data centers.
We do have a grid investment program to improve the grid around the entire state. You know, we're not just focused on the Atlanta area. And then we're also building new transmission lines. We have an entire team to support our transmission projects. And think of the transmission lines as the large lines that you may see that connect cities. And so we're building more transmission lines because we know that the state is growing, and we want to make sure our grid is reliable.
So Georgia Power has agreed to provide up to 3.2 gigawatts of power by 2032. That's enough to power more than 2 million homes. The contract is now under review by the Georgia Public Service Commission.
WSAV is your local election headquarters, and early voting is set to begin this week in South Carolina for that special Republican primary runoff for U.S. Senate. Interim Senator Darlene Graham and current United States Representative Ralph Norman advanced to the runoff after placing first and second in last week's primary election. Now, whoever wins will take the place of the late Lindsey Graham, who passed away last month, on the ballot and go face-to-face with Democrat Dr. Annie Andrews in November. Early voting for the runoff starts this Wednesday through Friday. The primary runoff itself August 25th. For details on how and where to cast your ballot, just go to our website, wsav.com/electionhq.
South Carolina is set to kick off the 2028 Democratic presidential primary over the weekend. The Democratic National Committee voted to approve a new calendar that has the Palmetto State voting first on January 22nd, 2028. Nevada, New Hampshire, New Mexico, and Virginia round out the early states. It is the second straight cycle, in fact, that South Carolina has gone first after former President Joe Biden pushed to give the state that spot in 2024 to promote more diverse voting.